So guys, I know you're reading the title going, Mike, you said you're not going to do edge testing. Well, it's a little bit different. So what I'm doing is, and you're not in a tripod, you're not supported, I know it's going to be shaky. I will try to stabilize it when I upload. But what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to find my hat, and I'm going to cut a bunch of cardboard because I never got around to finishing up the edge testing on this, not for edge retention, but just to see, is this going to chip when I cut cardboard? I know I did some really light use and this knife chipped at the edge. Now, I just resharpened this. It's got a fresh edge on it. I will try to, before I do, I will try to get some microscope footage of it. But just so that you know, I did just resharpen this. I've been having a hard time getting that microscope to connect properly. But I will try and get some picture of the edge so we can see before and after. And then we will just basically see how the S30V in this holds up. It's not that I'm saying I want to see how the edge is retained. What I want to do is just a cut test to see if this edge chips like it has in the past on light cutting. So guys, that's the video for today. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to go up today, but that's the video for today. I will get set up and start filming. I think I'm going to have to do it outside because it's just going to make a mess trying to cut down all this cardboard. But we shall see. So if you're wearing headphones, I had somebody say something about as a mobile user, you know, headphones is quite jarring. If you're wearing headphones, turn it down now because I can only turn the volume down on that intro so much before it just becomes worthless. So I turn it down to about 60% from 100 down to about 50 or 60. So imagine what it would be like if I didn't do you the favor of turning it down for you. So there's your warning. It's going to be loud. Here comes the music. Guys, so I was standing here at the counter on my laptop doing the editing, and I decided I definitely needed to throw in a disclaimer here before I actually get into the video. So you saw the intro, you saw it. This is in no way, shape, or form a scientific video. It was simply just that I wanted to readdress something that I had spoke about before. I've had other people tell me they've experienced it. Things like that. So I don't want you to take that I'm going into this, that this is going to be a scientific thing. I can't even give you microscope footage right now because for some reason I can't get the capture, the driver for the microscope. I can view things, but the capture is not working. I think with my last computer update, I have to get a new driver for that microscope. So, I just want to throw out that disclaimer. This is no way, shape, or form like an edge retention test. I didn't keep track of how much cardboard I cut, which technically those cardboard cutting videos and rope cutting videos, that's all, it's real ambiguous. It's not scientific. It's like, okay, how does this edge hold up for me? Basically, that's what I'm doing here. I just cut up a bunch of cardboard just to see if I was getting any chipping that I'd seen before. There's always a chance that the chipping was anecdotal at best, like it was okay, it could have been anything. Was it in and out of my pocket? Did I maybe close something? Something wind up inside the knife and I closed it on it. So this was a bit more, I never closed the knife but once. I made sure the knife is clean. I just sharpened it just to do this. And so, like I said, just a little disclaimer. I'm not trying to tell you if you like S30V that you're wrong. I'm just saying that it has some issues that I've noticed. But one of the things I will say is that just a few minutes ago, while I was getting ready to do editing, I wanted to see if maybe I could figure out what's going on with the capture from that microscope. I looked at this under the microscope and then I reviewed the pictures that I had taken before, and I don't know if it's necessarily an issue with the steel or maybe this blade, because the chips are in just right in that same area. There's two small ones here, one further up. If you remember the first video I showed you as I covered the blade with the microscope, that there were just small areas. Now, you can take that one of two ways. Like I said, I know I'm making this video longer, that you haven't even seen this stuff yet. They're in the areas where normally you're going to do the majority of the cutting on this blade. So that might be why I'm not feeling anything clear down. It's in that specific area from the tip of my index finger to where that edge starts to roll off. take it as what you will. Take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, I am in no way, shape, or form trying to say that this was like the end all be all kind of test. I just wanted to see if I could duplicate the chipping that I got again, just so I could say, yep, S30V chips. So with that disclaimer being said, yep, not to spoil the end of the video, but S30V chips. So guys, I hope you enjoy this. All right, guys, sorry, I was listening to audio, making sure that that last video actually went up the way I wanted. We've talked about this before. I don't do edge retention testing. What I'm looking for specifically in this video is we had done light duty tests and I got some chipping. Now, I did try to get the microscope to work. I can look at it, but for some reason the capture, I can't capture it, and I'm not gonna try and set everything up to videotape my computer screen. But I'm telling you right now, there are no chips or nicks in this. You guys know I'll give it an honest opinion. I love this little knife. I'm hoping that it does well. I'm hoping that I had some issues, that maybe got into something that I wasn't aware of when I did the initial light duty cutting. So I am going to give it an honest review. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fan of the steel, but that's the steel it's in, and I do like the knife. So what we're gonna do is, the nice thing is with my mother having been here, there's stuff that she purchased that she can't necessarily get back home in Southeast Ohio. So there's a lot of boxes that I've got, and they need to be cut down and disposed of anyway. So the nice thing is I have boxes available. I'm gonna do a bunch of box cutting. I'm gonna do it here in the kitchen. I'm gonna do it here in the kitchen. I wasn't going to initially. I'm going to do it here in the kitchen because what happens is the light is better, and it's more of a controlled environment, and I'm not gonna have to be bent over doing cutting. So I'm gonna do it here at the counter. I'm gonna lower you guys down. I am using the light. Does it even really matter at this point during the day? Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. It does give you, let's see. I think that's more of a natural light. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just start, and I'm gonna cut stuff up. We will just, we'll do different cuts. I've got some boxes set here. I'll cut one down and then test the edge. And then I'll cut one down, test the edge. I've got stuff here to wipe adhesive off because, you know, there's glue and stuff. And that way it may feel as though you hit a chip or a nick in the blade when you're running your thumbnail down it. That's my litmus test for chips, is so you guys know. I take my thumbnail and I just barely touch it, and then I drag it down, and if I feel any catches, that usually indicates a microchip or a roll or something like that. That's how I test. So this isn't gonna be real scientific. This is just seeing, is S30V, did it really chip the last time, or was it something that maybe happened in pocket? Maybe somebody else used it for something. So since I only did a light duty test, I'm gonna do more of a heavy duty test. So I'm gonna get the camera cranked down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna move the laptop that I do my editing on, because I was editing some other stuff that I'm looking for in a future video. So I'll get all this stuff moved, and I'll bring you back with me just in a second. So like I said, guys, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut up this cardboard. This knife, actually, this took a very, very keen edge. I will say that once you do the sharpening on S30V, it definitely does get sharp. I'm not saying that this knife is not sharp. I don't want you guys to misunderstand that I'm saying S30V doesn't get sharp or it doesn't take a keen edge. All I was saying was that in my experience, it's prone to chipping. And so I'm just gonna cut up as much of this. I'm gonna do a gear, this is a insect fogger. There's probably gonna be a gear review on this. I'm pretty impressed with this mosquito fogger that I've been using for the last couple weeks. Or last few days, I should say, about a week. So, just that far. I'm not feeling anything really yet. Well, maybe. We'll see. We're gonna keep going. I'll cut up this box and then we'll move to another one. I'm making sure not to hit anything. I don't want to sully the results just by simply getting into a countertop or something like that. So we'll cut this box all the way up, and then I gotta get this stuff all put away before the wife gets home from work. She will throw a fit. So, okay, I'm cutting it enough. This is getting hot. So let's see. I'm not even counting how many cuts. I'm just cutting the standard cardboard box. I just am simply looking to see, is the edge going to chip? So let's since I had some boxes to cut up anyway, I figured it'd be a good idea. I will say that this blade, one of the things it has going against it is the fact that this blade it's a lot like that video I did of that bayonet style stiletto. It's rather thick behind the edge. It does not cut near as well, and the blade is hot. Now, I don't mean like hot, like I can't touch it, but it is warm. So let me go ahead and pause this here because I think I'm gonna speed up in the post edit. So I'm gonna pause and do a cut here. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna stay right here and roll back into this, and we'll in post edit I will speed this up for you guys. Not necessarily time lapse, but double time. So back now, I will talk a little slower because I'm gonna speed this up. But I am still gonna use this box here. Yeah, this is not near as easy to cut with as say a thinner knife. Maybe we get towards the end. I'll show you. Ooh, look up, right over. I don't think that it's. I don't know if it's chipping, but it definitely feels as though it's not as sharp. It's not gliding through. Well, I say that, it could be just paint that was on the cardboard. This cardboard, it's not got a finish on the surface. Cutting much easier. Let's see here. But then this isn't the same kind of corrugated cardboard. This is a much whiter, less dense type of cardboard here. So, let's see. So I am going to do paper cut tests to see if the edge is rolling and things like that. So if you wait here, I'm gonna set the knife down. I'm not even gonna do a jump cut. I'm just gonna grab a piece of magazine paper. I figure we're gonna need more than one piece, so let me see this stuff with the glossy exterior is a little thicker, and it has that exterior coat that it's harder, and so it's not cutting as easily. And some of these pieces are thicker than others. So go ahead and finish this box, and I'll do a paper cut test just to see if I feel any edges, chips, and rolls, things like that I might not necessarily see. And I'll do my standard do I feel a chip type of thing. Now this was not a real large box. I did a lot of cutting on it, and it's fairly robust cardboard. So let's see. And I'm trying to cut across the corrugations as much as possible. Not you can see the linear lines. I'm not trying to go down all of it. I'm trying to go across it or diagonal to it as much as possible. Put as much wear as possible on this blade. So let me look. I don't see any adhesive stuck to it or anything like that. I don't see any actual chips or scratches, but I'm feeling spots where my thumbnail drags. So that tells me that the edge is possibly starting to roll a little bit in those areas. Is it still sharp? We shall see momentarily. It's still sharp. It's still sharp. It's not catching as easily as I would like it, and I can feel it drag. But I'm not feeling any chips. This is not an edge retention test. This is, am I feeling any catches and drags and pulls? And I think that's adhesive right there. That is 100% adhesive right there. Some glue on that. Sorry about that, guys. I was in the process of telling you there's a little bit of adhesive on here, and I forgot to turn off notifications, and so I got several messages all at once, and it kicked the camera off. I don't know why it does that these days. It didn't used to. It used to be I'd get a text and it would show up. But so I am feeling a couple places. I'm gonna wipe this blade off. Hold out here. I'm gonna get a rag and wipe this off just to make sure that I'm actually feeling. No, I put it in here. You guys ever wonder why? No, I don't see it. Momentarily. Can of WD-40 gets rust on it when it says it's to prevent rust? I don't know. It's just something I've noticed. So let's wipe this off just to make sure that I got any adhesive and stuff. WD-40, if you guys don't know, is very good at removing adhesive and stickers and things like that. I see a lot of people buy the Goof Off or the Goo Be Gone stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think you need it. If you got a can of WD-40 at your house, you should be good. Now that I'm looking at it, I can see some wear on the edge. Just, you know, I've been cutting cardboard. It's abrasive. And yep, there are two small chips right there and right there. Now, if you remember right, when I did this video before, I had two small chips in that same area. Same spot. General area. There's one there, there's one there. Let me wipe it down again one more time just to make sure. Oh, I can actually see them. But like I said, it's cardboard, it's pretty abrasive, but I would expect to see some wear, maybe some rolls, but not chips. Not from cutting down one box. let's go ahead and go back, test on the... I can kind of feel it, a little hiccup when it cuts through the paper if you go real slow. Is it affecting the overall sharpness? No. But is the steel giving it up? Yeah. Let's go through a couple more. A couple more little boxes here. My mom bought some stuff. I'm just going to dispose the boxes this way. Now this is a much lighter, much thinner cardboard box. Don't despair, I have more. This is really tight knit corrugated cardboard on this retail packaging here. This is not shipping boxes. This is single, it's really fine corrugated cardboard. It is corrugated, but it's not like the big thick triple wall stuff that I would normally want to test on, but it's got to get cut down anyway. So, do some cutting here. Cut these pieces off. Make room in the trash can. Oh, I got down into the sharpening notch on that one. I cut across this diagonally a few times. It's getting to where it wants to bind. So now that box is almost completely cut up. Let's go ahead and cut this a couple more times just for the sake of more wear, more better. Now, I don't see any adhesive on the blade, but what I do see is not really chips, but I can feel them. There. Right there. And I can definitely feel that the edge is starting to try to give up. So let's wipe it off again, just to make sure there's no adhesive on it. Just in case I'm feeling the adhesive. Now, I will say, I do know that these glossy retail packaging, just like glossy newsprint or magazine paper, what you get on the exterior of this that's causing this is a ceramic mud that they use. It's a coating that goes on top. Yeah, definitely. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 4. It's starting to show chips. So I'm not really going to take this much further. I will try to get some pictures of it, but like I said, I can't promise anything, but it definitely is chipping. Now, I'm not doing this to say that I'm right, you're wrong, or call people out, but there's been people that argued with me that S30V does not chip and things like that. Now, is this knife still sharp? Yeah, it's real sharp. It's still paper slicing sharp, but it is starting to catch and tear. And a lot of that is because of the edge. I cut down a bunch of really coarse cardboard. I would expect that with pretty much any knife. But what I wouldn't expect are these little chips that form. Now, the very tip of this is frightening. And then you get back here and it doesn't want to bite as much. But yeah, it just feels like there's a bunch of, and you can, if I can get the light right, I will try to show you what I'm capturing. I don't think I'm going to try and use the microscope. So let me pause you again so I can take this out of high speed mode and bring you right back, because I think I'm done with this. I think I've proved my point. I thought maybe I had done something wrong cutting letters. I would not expect a knife I would not expect it to chip like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I know a lot of this has to do with heat treat. I don't know what Benchmade's heat treat is on this, but I do know that I have definitely cut down cardboard with other steels a lot and not found an edge roll, not found a chip, things like that. The things that I'm feeling here, I don't care about edge roll, and I'm not worrying about edge retention like I said. I'm solely worried about these little microchips that I find forming in this knife, even due to light tasks. So, hang on, let me crank you up so it's easier for me to see. I will try to edit out some of this jiggliness, but I'm gonna crank you guys up further. Now you're level with the light. It's easier for me, I'm not having to bend over. So, the things that I see in this steel and in other S30V steel knives are under light to average use, you start getting some chipping and microchipping and things like that. I know a lot of people really like this steel. I really like this knife. That's not going to impede me from carrying it. I just will know that every time I use it, I'm pretty much going to have to sharpen it. And now I know why. Now I know why you see these that are just sharpened down to nothing. Way faster than I would expect any other knife because of the chipping. So, I mean, at this point, I've put my edge on this several times. I don't know what I could do as far as edge geometry to mitigate the chipping, but there is definite chipping. It is definitely a very coarse chipped edge now, which was not. It was a very fine, I think, 8,000 grit, if I remember. I took it to 8,000. No, I took it to 8,000, and then I did it on a Spyderco ultra fine ceramic. So we're probably talking 10, 12,000 grit edge, to tell you the truth, if you really want to know. And on a fine edge like that, I wouldn't expect chipping. I would expect some coarseness in the edge to appear, but not chipping. But there are definite chips in this that I just wanted to do it because I thought maybe that the light duty test, like the light use test that I did, wasn't good enough. Like maybe something else had happened and I thought, you know, let me give it another fair shot. I do like to carry this. It gets carried a lot. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, there's definite issue with chipping in Benchmade's S30V. Is it a game ender or showstopper for a lot of people? Probably not. Probably not. Most people are not going to use this knife hard enough or in the task that a lot of people that I know would. But, I mean, when you think about it, the fact is somebody might have this in the pocket and they're using it for specific things like stripping wire and things like that. If this knife is going to chip in cardboard and regular media paper and things like that, what's it going to do if you're doing it the rigors of stripping, you know? And I know that every tool has its own use and a knife is not a wire stripper, but you can't tell me you haven't been in a scenario where I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I gotta do a Western Union on a headlight in a truck that tore loose, and I gotta rewire that and I have nothing to do it but a knife and some tape. You're gonna strip that wire with a knife. There's just no way around it. And a blade like this, which would be the blade that probably is in your pocket because it's a really nice EDC, is not going to handle something like that. We're talking cardboard, not copper wire. And I do know copper wire is softer than steel, but you still will have some issues with that. So just some edge chipping. I just wanted to revisit it. Guys, I'm sorry if this was a long and boring video. I apologize. It was just basically me cutting cardboard, but I definitely had said I was going to do it and I wanted to come back to it. So I think we're just going to close it at that. I think the rest of those boxes I'm going to cut up with something else that I won't have to immediately resharpen after. I could probably strop it. We could try that. I will let you know whether stropping worked, but last time stropping did not take these chips out. Like you can strop out maybe a minor roll or a micro roll, but chips that you can feel physically, you usually can't strop those out. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up right up there in your face. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. Let's put that back here. In this corner, as always, will be a subscription link. Down in this corner will be a Patreon link, if I can get it to work this time. In this corner will be a link to a video that YouTube thinks you like. No, in this corner will be a video that YouTube thinks you like. And down here will be a link to something. Maybe my daughter's ice skating channel again. Maybe that's what we'll do. So, guys, I love you all. Take it easy. We finally got back around to it. I'm sorry it took so long. If you guys are trying to get a hold of me for the next few weeks, I am going to be pretty busy in and out. I will still take emails and stuff like that. I'm still going to honor my thing where I said I will do the fall special, and I will do a video about the fall special by itself. It won't be a very long video, and I'm probably also going to do it on Instagram, so keep an eye out for that. Like I said, if you need knives sharpened, this would be the time to do it when I do my basically I'm gonna do I did a Blade Show special, I'll do a Blade West special. So since Blade West is coming up, we'll run it until the end of November. So guys, take it easy, and I will see you in the next video.